Well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been inside a classroom or a family gathering and all of a sudden someone makes a joke on you and you would be feeling like, well, what is this? Because let's be honest, we all are living inside a kind of coliseum and it's like for the entertainment. And some people, they don't care. But the way is that if they make a fun of you, the way you react is going to either break you or make you actually untouchable. So you have to bring it back to them. In this video, I'm going to exactly explain it to you on how it's possible and use it in a kind of good way, because what I'm about to tell you is very much detailed. It's the richest video that I have ever done on this topic, and by the way, I think I look much more handsome wearing the sunglasses. So how to destroy anyone who tries to humiliate you. By the way, it's a kind of educational purpose kind of video, so feel free to use it only in the positive way. With that being said, so everyone laugh, everyone just try to make a fun, and it's on you when they make a fun of you. So you think, should I defend myself? Should I say something clever, or should I fire back? That's a very basic thing that comes to your mind after you be like a part of this kind of let's say joke. Because here's the thing, they're gonna make a joke or they're gonna actually harass you, you have to pretend like you didn't hear it. You have to make them say it again, because the second time they say it, no one really cares and it's gonna be not funny. Or you got to do no kind of response. The no response is the best response, because they're expecting a thing. Imagine this, someone wants a fight. If you don't give them the fight, it's not exciting anymore. They're not gonna be satisfied. They're gonna be like, it's like reading their mindset prior to this happening. So by entering that room, you know how to react, and next time that someone disrespects you, well, you gotta actually know how to do it, because then you go from the prey to the trap, and you have to trap them down and you have to do some stuff so they understand that they should never even talk in front of you like that ever again. But of course, this needs some kind of deeper psychological means. I'm going to tell you exact kind of ways on how to proceed, and I hope that you're going to actually benefit in a positive way. Okay, that's the main thing. You don't feel stronger, you feel kind of smaller after this kind of things. Of course, it's down to your psychological needs and wounds. The moment you emotionally defend yourself, you've already lost it, because you have accepted whatever they say. That's the concept. You don't have to do that. Today I'm going to actually tell you to be nice, but sometimes there's a way, there's a capacity for that. You cannot be too nice, because some people, they do not accept. They take your niceness for weakness, and they have to pay for it at a certain point. But this way, you put it back on them. So it's like, just like to very few people, you have to promise to use this kind of knowledge in a good way, and use it in a positive way that would, try to not be selfish, because that's the most important part. The concept of Machiavellism. We're going to actually dive deep into the dark psychology, the power dynamics, and the Machiavellian kind of strategy to show you how to neutralize or dominate and psychologically defeat anyone who tries to humiliate you without shouting, without insults, without losing control. I'm going to exactly tell you that. So by the end of this video, you'll understand how to walk into any room as the hunter, not the prey. That's the mentality shift that you have to work on. Why humiliation works. To defeat humiliation, you must first understand it, how it works. Public humiliation is not about the jokes. It's not about the honesty. It's not about you even. You have to understand that it's not on you. It's about the status. It's about when someone humiliates you in front of others, they are trying to elevate themselves. So by lowering your position, they try to gain attention and validation from the group. So you have to understand why they're doing it, the core concept behind it, because everything happens for a reason, and people do things not once but many times, over and over and over again, because we live in a society, a hierarchy of society, and that is the exact way that it works, and I'm sure that you guys can understand that. So they need your reaction to win, because without the reaction, it's like a solo play. It doesn't work like that. So here's the interesting thing. They are hungry for your anger, for your defense, for your embarrassment, so that they can be like, yeah, you see, I played him. That's the dirty concept that actually is a dark psychology. And some people play it dirty. Like, I'm telling you to use it in a nice way so you can bring the beauty to the world. But some people, they don't care. They have sometimes very much power, but they just want to push you down so that they go high. So that's why the fastest way to lose a status is to explain yourself, or to justify your worth, or to react emotionally. You need to understand it so you don't react emotionally too much, because it's going to be catastrophic if you do that. So powerful people don't rush to defend themselves. They let others reveal who they are, and they know psychological techniques that I'm about to tell you. So there is one golden rule. It's called never react. So your instincts will betray you here, because you have to, if something comes out of you and you get angry. But when you're attacked and when you're angry, your nervous system activates, your heart rate increases and rises, breathing shortens, and logic shuts down. You need an immediate kind of reaction. But that's the moment that it's better not to make a decision in haste. You have to take your time at that moment. If you can control yourself in that moment, then we can shift it to a way that they would wish they would have not been actually talking. It's a very interesting thing. And if you do it a few times, you're going to actually master this, and it's a very beautiful thing. So this is why instant reactions are always weak reactions. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He who controls his temper controls the outcome. And when you pause, the attacker becomes uncertain, and the audience also becomes curious. Power shifts back to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the concept. Even 2 seconds of silence can completely reverse the dynamic. Remember this: the calmest person in the room is usually the most dangerous one. And if you notice that the people who are the loudest in a room, they're the weakest one. They're hungry for attention. Usually in a room, the guy who's the calmest, who's the most natural one, who can look at everyone in their eyes and just has a very calm kind of nature. He doesn't need to prove anything. He's the strongest guy in there. But a guy who's tense is like the animal kind of kingdom. The rat is tense, he's like afraid of moving. But the bear is like, would look around, it's like, okay, I don't see something as a threat. You understand that? Centuries of evolution has made us actually have these things deep down our roots, like as a concept. So there is a technique I'm about to tell you. It's called the black hole technique. In this black hole technique, this is one of the most powerful psychological weapons you can use. But please use it in a good way. The technique works like this. Instead of pushing back, instead of explaining or reacting, you become emotionally empty. No smile, no reaction, no defense, no anger. So they understand that they cannot make you react. It's not like you are a player in their kind of game. You would choose your own kind of, let's say, on the chessboard, your own kind of characters to play. It's not like, because you're not entering their game, it's like rather than you say, you want me to play like this, you expect me to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this, and then it'll be back to you. I know it's kind of difficult and it's a heavy kind of thing to understand fully. I sure understand that. It would take practice. And you know why this actually works? It's because humiliation feeds on emotional energy, and it's like instantly. Their confidence drops by you having no reaction. And this is the way. You should look at them in their eyes for like 2-3 seconds without any reaction. Not in an angry way, not in anything. Just look at them in their eyes. No reaction. And they will see that the silence would like be louder than the words. And they will say like, okay, maybe I made a mistake. Then they're gonna actually come back to you and say, hey, it was a joke. I didn't mean that. Then you're not going to say, okay. You're not gonna do that. Because you need to teach them something that they're not going to repeat again. Because if you let them do this thing, they're going to do it again, and you don't want to do that. By the way, you're watching until here, you probably would like to make a change rather than just watching a video and next day you'll be back to your own self. So in order to make this work, you have to actually understand even deeper kind of levels. Because we are all kind of similar deep down. So, the room becomes uncomfortable at that moment, especially for that person who's trying to humiliate you. So, you didn't fight back, you just starved them, and they're hungry for a reaction, and you understand it, that they want the reaction. I'm not going to give you the reaction, because if I do that, I'm going to be playing in your game. So I'm going to put the ball, you threw the ball in my court, I got to throw it in yours, and it's your game to play now. I run the game. I'm not a player in your game. You understand? I'm trying to elaborate, make sure you understand this. So, silence plus the calm eye contact would actually be social and psychological dominance. So, the most powerful people are usually the ones who are the calmest. If you look at it, look at Vladimir Putin. He's like really calm when you talk to him, when you see him on the internet. He's really calm. He knows exactly what he's doing, but he's really powerful. And that's the thing I'm saying. The people who try to pretend that they're big, that they're powerful, they're not powerful. Real powerful is not a physique. Real powerful is in your mind. Real powerful is the money that you have, the effect that you can make in the world. It's not just like going to a gym and becoming big. Because there was a saying that says, if the biggest animal in the jungle would be the king, the elephant would be the king, not the lion. Why is the lion the king, not the elephant? Because of the attitude that they have. You understand? That's the most important thing. So we have also another concept called the psychological judo. So let's go one level deeper now. In martial arts, judo teaches you not to block force, but to redirect it. If someone is going to punch you should let them, and just, instead of stopping or blocking them, you should just readjust your body movement. And that's the way you're going to do this. Psychological judo works the same way. When someone insults you, they reveal something deeply in their insecurity, in their wounds, need for attention, desire for dominance. So here's the interesting thing. Instead of denying the insult, you reframe it. Let me give you an example so make sure you understand. If someone says, wow, you're really quiet today. Did the cat have your tongue? See? You feel like you want to come up with an answer. You don't need to defend yourself. You need to stay calm at that moment and say, yeah, actually, usually I listen. And when I'm in the presence of the noise, I don't need to come up with a thing. So you need to understand the game. Or another kind of example, let me tell you, because that was not the best example. This does three things. It's like you don't deny the frame, you don't insult it directly, you evaluate yourself without the effort. It's like you shifting yourself in another way. And they will be like, I cannot play with that guy. By the way, most of the successful people know the psychological games, because success does not come to the most hardworking person. Look at your colleagues, look at the place that you study or anything. The successful person is not the most hardworking one. He just knows how to use the psychology. That's the thing. That's the sole purpose of this video. So if you understand this, the psychology will help you with the power gain. That's the thing. So, Powerful responses are indirect. They're not aggressive. They know how to do it because that's the way it works. There is a kind of gaze, the winning the crowd kind of gaze also. Here's something most people miss. Humiliation is never just between two people. The real battlefield is the audience. They're doing something so that the audience would watch, you see? And the attacker wants the group approval. For example, like someone at a class makes fun of you. You have a toxic kind of friend, fake friend. They make fun of you in the class. They don't care about you or making fun of you. They like it because the audience would give them a feedback and they will feel like, they're important. You see, it comes from an insecurity in them they try to fulfill. When you understand that, you would behave in a way that they understand that they don't have to do this anymore. And this is like an indirect thing. You're not going to give them a response. You're going to do these things. And then they understand that, this is not, I did not get the game I wanted. So they're not going to come to you, they're going to go to someone else. And that's the beautiful thing that is about this video. It's like, okay. So, instead of looking eyes only with the attacker, you look briefly at them and then calmly, glance at the group and then return your gaze. You have to be very calm. And then this subconsciously signals would say that, you know what, I'm not isolated. I'm here and your joke is not funny. And the audience usually looks at that person who's humiliated. Honestly speaking, I was the person who humiliated others, and then I decided not to do it because it's not really a good thing. Because I believe that it's not the right thing to do. But I can understand this concept and I can explain it to you so that you would try to, know how to react to this kind of situation. Because I think no one really talks about this. You don't need to say much. Your body language speaks for you. And then there are the surgical sentences that end the game. These are not insults, they are status terminating statements. Use them calmly, slowly, and once. Why do I say surgical sentences? Because, if you go to a meat shop, like a Turkish meat shop or something, it's a filthy thing. It's a lot of thing that they do. It's like a lot of dirty stuff. But surgery means it needs to be delicate and exact. It needs to be razor sharp and you go exactly to that point. So when you say less, your words are going to be hurt more. Because if you talk all the time, no one's going to care. No one is going to give a damn about that. It's going to be like, yeah, whatever. But if you talk just a little bit and you say very smart things, they're going to be hungry for that. And they're going to come to you for your kind of thing. That's why people value the things that are scarce and not available all the time. So if you throw yourself at someone, they're not going to respect that. By the way, this is like a multi-dimensional kind of interdisciplinary kind of subject. So interesting that you felt the need to say that. You can actually say this in response. Or you can say that... is that meant to be helpful or just loud? Like, for example, they say, hey, you didn't talk today. Did cat get your tongue? You can say, is that a serious question? Or you just want to grab the audience? You're going to be like, is that meant to be helpful or what is this? Or just loud. So you put it back to them. Like, they throw you a ball, you throw the ball back to them. So it's like a tennis match. You're just trying to play. It's like practice. I know. After this video, you might be confused. But if it happens a few times, you know how to react to it. And then you will understand the psychology. And you'll understand how to just use it in a positive way. By the way, if you like the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, like, and let me know down in the comments what you think. So the final mindset is that you have to go from the prey to the hunter. So this is not about becoming cruel. It's not about being a bad person. It's about becoming unmovable. Predators don't chase noise. They don't panic. They don't explain themselves. They observe, they wait, and then they strike. Once they actually are sure about the result, that's the precision surgery that is said. So, once people realize that you don't react emotionally, that they cannot provoke you, and they cannot make you play that game, they stop it and they don't do it anymore. They don't seek the game anymore because you're not playing in their game. And they stop testing you, and because humiliation only works on those who need approval. And when you stop needing approval, you gain the power. And that's the interesting thing. If this video helped you see social dynamics differently, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to stop being underestimated. Because remember, power isn't loud, power isn't aggressive. Power is very calm, actually. Look at the leaders in the world. They're really powerful. Look at Elon Musk. He's always laughing. He's always very calm. Look at the strongest people. They're all calm all the time. Like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, they're always laughing, very calm. They are like doing a lot of psychology kind of studies so they can understand this human behavior. So of course, in a meeting when they sit and talk, they're gonna be nice, of course. But that's how it is. Really, the power doesn't need approval. It's like the mountain and the ants. If you're the mountain, you're not going to react to the ant that is going to come or whatever. If the wind blows and makes a sound, I'm going to give you a symbol. Like the wind blowing is those people trying to make fun or joke or stupid people like that. Because they want to fulfill their weakness and they seek validation. That's the thing. They're like the wind that blows and makes a stupid sound. But you're like the mountain that's right there, that's in the power, and you're not going to react to them. And through a few times, they understand and they pick up another one. That's the power kind of dynamic that works. And this is my humble gift to you guys. And if you like that, I have another video that pops up on the screen. That's a really good video. You can check it out and let me know what you guys think. And until the next video, try to, understand human behavior, because you and those people are all human. It doesn't matter. They try to harass you, you try to harass them. It's the same. And everyone does something for a reason. Keep that in mind.